Robots excel at many things, but touch is not one of them. But some researchers coming out of New York decided to change that and gave robotics tactile sensation like our own skin that could be used for not just prosthetics, but robotics as well. Of course, this would require that your prosthetics be smarter than you, but we'll talk about it. I love this diagram, by the way. They know what they did. They used conductive fabric that gets put into a layer system not too different than our skin. As the skin comes in contact with the surface, it develops an electrical current, and that electrical current can be processed by a core AI system. This could also be attached to artificial neurons, which could be interfaced with our own neurons to give people artificial limbs that are capable of touch. And this has a lot of resolution. It can determine if something is slipping out of its fingers, for example, and then can adjust its grip. This is way beyond what we have for pressure sensors in any robotics. This comes out of neuromorphic AI and robotics. I always say the best way to get something that's functional is to borrow from nature. Nature had millions of years or even billions to develop the systems that we use today. Why don't we just take the shortcut and figure out how to remake it? And that's what they did. And this is the same systems that have been used in artificial eyes and artificial senses like taste and smell. If that system can generate electrical current, and if that current can be perceived by an AI or a brain, it can be processed near instantly. This takes out the middleman of needing to translate something into code, having that code go to a brain or AI core, and then having to translate it into an action. It's just not fast enough. This kind of technology could make people whole again, having artificial limbs that actually act like limbs. And I do appreciate that the researchers mention that this could be used for prosthetics, not just robotics that are creepily real or can react really fast. And it's all relatively inexpensive. The fabric could be replaced easily. Yes, the computers are pretty pricey, but the materials themselves do not require a lot of money. You could have them replaced if they become damaged relatively easily. Of course, there are other ways to give your robot a skin that can heal and grow and perceive the world. Yeah, you remember the people who decided to coat a Terminator robot in fungus to demonstrate the concept. Turns out fungus is smart enough to operate a robot, but there are significant drawbacks to have actually living skin. We've talked about using stem cells to grow a skin that can then be applied to a robot, and that does plagiarize everything that we use in our bodies. So there is borrowing from nature, there's plagiarizing from nature, and then there's just straight abducting pieces of nature for robotics, and all of them work. But I do think that having robotic components that are separate from it have a lot of advantages. For example, you don't want to have to feed your computer a glucose drip or be concerned about computer viruses in addition to real viruses. Someone with the brain organoid hybrid computer is going to accidentally give it herpes one day. That is a real possibility. I do think technology like this is what's going to actually improve people's lives. While biohybrids and wetware are a great spectacle and creepy as all hell, I don't think they're ever going to become truly functional. Not even the brain organoids. Virtual brain organoids are outpacing them right now. We'll see. What do you think?